Hi, it's Mary Alice here with Change Your Aim, Change Your Life. And this is the last of the video series about our thoughts and our minds and our feelings and how to make them more productive and positive throughout life. And we're talking about action. Kind of corny, huh? Well, we have equated kind of our life with movies, haven't we, throughout this series. So we first talked about awareness, becoming awareness of our issues and our difficulties and our problems in life, and really being honest with ourselves. And then in the next video, we talked about acknowledging, well, what are those issues and how can we change them? And what do you want to do to be better, to look better, to feel better, to think better, to speak better? So acknowledging what you're aware of is so important, because sometimes we can become aware of things, but it just kind of flitters away and we don't pay any more attention. But we need to acknowledge and to write them down and to really think about those things we want to change. One thing that I didn't speak about was aligning ourselves, body, mind, and soul, with who we are and exactly who we are. How we were meant to be, and our wholeness. You know, I want to just share one thing. It's a little side note, but I hear people talk about being broken. You're not broken. You're not broken. We're not broken. And we're not damaged at all. It may feel that way, or maybe you've been told that in life, or maybe you told yourself that, but we're really not. We just need to be aligned. It's like going to the chiropractor and aligning our spine and our bones to walk better and to feel better, have better posture and breathe better. You know, we just need to align ourselves correctly, body, mind, and soul, and our heart. And some of those are fuzzy, and some of those aspects of our lives are carrying around inner shame, hidden shame that's been there for a long time since our past. You know, if you're especially, again, and my expertise is helping women who were abused as children, and sexual abuse in particular. So, you know, we carry that in us. No matter if you've ever dealt with the issue or maybe got a lot of counseling, there's still some things, I think, for a lot of us that carry over. So this is what I want to do, this is what I do, is deal with this. You know why? Because we want to get it out. I'm not here to dwell on it. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to have revenge, any of that. My heart's desire, my passion is for you to find yourself again, to change your aim, to literally change your aim, because it's squelched right now with that hidden shame and pain and old coping mechanisms that aren't serving you anymore. So, and I've talked about that in other areas in kind of roundabout ways in other videos. That's about alignment. But then I went on to talk about allowing. You know, we need to allow ourselves and give ourselves permission to gain information, to seek out books, mentors, counselors or therapists, helpers, coaches, seminars, whatever you feel drawn to that might help you, that's what you want. But sometimes we are so close, we don't allow it, or we think we can't, or we think it goes against our religion or something. I don't know. I've heard all kinds of excuses that baffle my mind. But it's when we get past the excuses, what we find is fear. Fear about changing. What will happen if I change? What if I do change that? Will people know me? Will they still like me? Will they accept me? And then there are all those other issues, which I could do 50 videos on those videos alone, or on those subjects alone. But you know, you're great. You're not broken, and you're not damaged. Far from it. All you need is some realigning, right? And that comes with our mind and our thinking and our spirituality. All that is very important. But then we talked about lights, camera, action, and I talked about lighting, and I talked about our essence and our light. And sometimes, you know, we're like dimmer switches that get a little bit brighter and brighter with every little change we make and information we gather. How are we when we walk in a room? Do we light up a room? Are we a person that people want to be around? Or do people kind of like, don't know, they're afraid of us, or we're too shy, or maybe we go in the room with a chip on our shoulder? I don't know. It's up to you to figure out what that is about you, and to be really gut honest and no judgment. Again, it's not about judging or good, bad, or anything. It's just looking at, how do you really want to be in life? How do you want to feel in life about yourself? How do you want others to respond to you? So that's your essence, and that's the light that you are. And we're all lights. We all are the light of the world. But what's covering it up? Again, you know, it's that old stuff, the old coping mechanisms, our old excuses, our fear and doubt, just kind of shoves down there and keeps us from shining, really. You know what I'm talking about? Like, do you know what your passion and purpose is in life? Are you connected with those things? Those are good questions to ask yourself. And then I talked about, after lighting, I talked about the camera. I talked about the camera as we look through the lens of a camera. What is that lens? What's that lens like? Is it dirty? Is it crummy? Is it cracked? Is it dingy? Are you seeing the world through eyes of anger and deceit and sarcasm and not trusting anybody? Are you seeing the world through rose-colored glasses where you're just trusting everybody and a lot of people that you shouldn't be? Are you looking through that lens and looking at people? What is your perspective on life, I guess is my question. What's that lens you're looking at other people on? What judgments are you casting on them? What thoughts, what perceptions? Because those are just inward things that more than likely is not quite reality on the outside. And then I briefly talked about looking through that lens. Okay? You were on one side of it, and now now you're on the other side, sorry. You were looking through it through your filter, and now you're on the other side of it. So what do people see when they look through their lens and see you? We have to remember that they're looking through their own judgments and perceptions and feelings and old stuff that's in them. So we don't always have to take what other people say personally. Probably almost never. Because it's coming through their own perception. And if they're living still in their own default mode, you know, and then they're just seeing life through their own filter, their own kind of perceived filter of the world and other people and opinions, and, you know, they're adamant about things that really, really don't matter, you know. So we have to understand how we relate to other people, not only how they are and the lens they're looking through, but us and the lens we're looking through. And let's make it clear. And when we get aligned, body, mind, and soul and heart, you know, that lens gets really clear. And then we can actually start beginning to see a panoramic view. We see the bigger picture of life. It's really cool how that works. God just kind of opens us up. We're not just so, you know, in ourselves and worried and scared and blame, and people this and they did that to me and that, you know, it's like on and on and on. And you're not living a wonderful life that you were meant to live because you're so closed and worried and, you know, concerned, and you remain a victim. And I say you, I mean general. I'm not, you know who I'm talking to. So, and I should include myself, because I know I went through years living in my default mode, years as a teen and a young adult, until life just kind of smacked me in the face and said, time to wake up here. And that started my intrigue and my self-development and personal growth. And I read and I read and I learned and I got some help and I went back to school and I got my degree. And I mean, it just kind of opens the door and makes life amazing. Okay, so now here we are with action. And what I want to say about action is, if we go back to what I initially started with about becoming aware and acknowledging and even allowing new information, and you did that, then you took action, and that's so cool. And you win an award for that. How about that? And if you actually found that you saw things within you that you really want to grow, you know, maybe it's wonderful, positive things, and you see some talents there that you really want to improve on, or maybe you saw some, you know, problems within you that you want to work on. You don't want to be that shy, or you don't want to be that mean or cynical or judgmental. And you found, I want to change those things in me. And if you actually became aware and acknowledged it, and you got an award too. There, that's 2 awards for you. How about that? You took action. That's taking action. And if you actually allowed for new information to come in, and you actually feel like, yes, I'm changing, I am changing, and this is wonderful, and life is so much better looking at life this way when I take full responsibility for my own life. And I can see myself without judgment, but with love and acceptance and grace, I can change, and it's wonderful. And if you've done that too, then look, you've got 3 awards, yay! And you know what? You just keep collecting those awards in your life. You are the star of your own life. What kind of star are you, huh? I bet you're a good one. You're changing, you're growing, you're learning, you're acting on your intuition and your passions and your purpose. And this is what we need to be doing. And you know what happens when we do that? More than likely, it benefits other people. It helps other people. It might entertain them. It might give them whatever it is that's coming out of you to the world. It might help them have a solution to their problem. You might be teaching them. I don't know what it is for you, but I can tell you this, it's going to help somebody else. And that's what it's all about. So thank you for this series. And what I'm going to do soon is I'm going to put all the videos, I think there's 7 or 8 of them of this series, in one place where you can access them and look at them. And it'll just be for a short time I'll be able to do that, but I want you to be able to access those videos and watch each one. Now, I can't go into great depth in each video. I know you realize that because of time and because of just the depth of each subject matter. But I do that in my upcoming book, and especially my workshops. We dig deep and we come out with joyous feelings of life is great when it's over. That's my passion, and that's what I'm concerned about for all of you. Not to bring up the past, just to dwell in it and woe is me and this is awful and that doesn't help anybody. There's a time and a place for that, absolutely. But to dwell in it is not what we want, because then you're robbing yourself of a wonderful life when we keep blaming. But when we take responsibility for our own lives and how we are and how we conduct ourselves in life, and taking on our capabilities and our talents and pursuing those and being the best that we can be, that's why we were created, that's why we're here. And again, it's to be that wonderful rippling effect in life so that you shine, and you shine bright. So I thank you for being here, and thank you for listening to the series, and thank you for being patient. I had a lot of camera problems and studio problems and mic problems, and then I had some family issues come up where I know this was prolonged, so I'm sorry it took so long, but here it is. So God bless you, and thank you again. Change your aim, and you'll change your life. Take care.